In this video, we're going to be talking about the circumcenter and the circumscribed circle. So these are new vocabulary words that you need to make sure you are studying so that you have more of an idea of what is going on in a question if these words are referenced. So the circumcenter of a triangle is the point where all of the perpendicular bisectors meet. So there are three sides of a triangle, right? Which mean that there are three possible perpendicular bisectors that you can create. And after creating all three perpendicular bisectors, those are going to intersect at one point. And again, that is called the circumcenter. Now, the circumcenter is also the center of a very interesting circle called the circumscribed circle. This is also called the circumcircle. Now, we'll also talk about what that means in a second, but make sure you understand that the circumcenter is the point where all three perpendicular bisectors meet. Now, the circumscribed circle, again, which is also referred to as circumcircle sometimes, is a circle around, in this case, we just have a triangle. So it's a circle around a triangle such that the circle intersects the vertices of the polygon. So this circle is always outside. So remember, we did inscribed circle in the prior video. The inscribed circle was inside. The circumscribed circle is always outside of the triangle. And we are still intersecting with the triangle. However, those intersection points are at the three vertices of our triangle. So again, comparing the inscribed circle and the circumscribed circle, remember the inscribed circle was inside of our circle and it intersected each side once. The circumscribed circle is outside of the triangle and intersects each vertex. And again, you need to make sure you are studying this vocabulary because vocabulary is like 50% of our battle in a lot of the questions like this. So this is a mnemonic device to help you remember all of the different vocabulary words with their constructions. So the mnemonic says, all of my children are bringing in peanut butter cookies. And again, it's all of my children are bringing in peanut butter cookies. So if you fill those letters in, it's A-O-M-C, A-B-I, P-B-C. And we write it like this for a reason. Because they stand for something. So it's altitudes, orthocenter, right? So what this stands for is that the intersection of all of my altitudes is called the orthocenter. MC is for medians and centroid, so the intersection of all three medians is called the centroid. And then ABI stands for angle bisectors and the incenter, so the intersection of all three angle bisectors is called my incenter. And then PBC stands for perpendicular bisectors, circumcenter. So again, the intersection of all of my perpendicular bisectors is called the circumcenter. So this is something you should also be studying because it'll help you remember. I literally use this till this day because there's so much going on. So whenever you can find easier ways to memorize stuff, it's great to use that. So again, all of my children are bringing in peanut butter cookies. So we're going to get into our constructions. So remember, if a question, so circumcenter, we're constructing all three perpendicular bisectors. And then for the circumscribed circle, we will talk about that more in a second. But in order to construct the circumscribed circle, we need the circumcenter first. You always need to do the circumcenter first. So again, we need to first, our goal is to construct all three, I'm going to say PBs. Those are perpendicular bisectors, right? So remember, this should be prior knowledge, but the perpendicular bisector construction, in my opinion, was the easiest one because you just need to put your needle on one of the vertices and make your compass go more than halfway of the length of the side, and then you make your construction marks. So I'm going to try to keep this picture a little neat, so I'm not going to make the full-size arcs, like I'm not going to go all the way through. Then you're going to put your needle on the other vertex, and you are going to make your arcs. If my arcs didn't intersect, I would just have to go back and extend them. And then our last step is to take our straight edge and draw straight through. All right, now, so we did it for AB first. Now what I want you guys to do is pause the video and try to construct the circumcenter. So we already did it for AB. We already did it for AB. We can check that off. We also need to do the perpendicular bisector of AC and of BC. So pause that, try to do those constructions, and then you can replay the video when you are finished. So now let's do AC. Let's do it in green. So we have to put our needle on A, make sure our compass is opened up more than halfway, and we want to make our arcs. So your picture might, again, just like all the other constructions we've been doing, it might start to get a little messy, but you just got to try to make sure that you are going slow so you can follow what you're doing. So now I'm going to place my needle on my other endpoint, which is C, and I will draw my arcs to try to make that intersection. Once I have those two intersections, I am drawing with my straight edge straight through those intersections. So that was AB, so we can check that off on our checklist. Or sorry, that was AC. Now we need to do BC. Let's do that one in blue. So our needle goes on one of the endpoints. I'll choose C first. I want to go more than halfway. And then I need to make my arcs. And again, my picture is getting messy, but I am going slow and following what I'm doing. Now my needle goes on B, and I am trying to, without changing the width of my compass, I'm trying to make those intersection points. Once you have both of them, take your straight edge and connect through. Awesome, so now we just did BC. We can go ahead and check that off on our list. So now I know I've just constructed 3 perpendicular bisectors. So we want to get in the habit again of making our conclusions, right? They're perpendicular. I know all of these are right angles, right? And since they are bisectors, I know all of my sides are getting split into congruent parts. Meaning, I know this piece here is congruent to this one. Separately, I have these 2 portions congruent, and then I'll also have these 2 congruent as well. All right, now to construct your, so now the point where all of them are intersecting, that is going to be called our circumcenter. Now, once you have your circumcenter, to construct your circumscribed circle, you place your needle on the circumcenter, right? Now it depends where your pencil goes. Well, I know that my circumscribed circle or my circumcircle, those can be called both, they're the same thing. I know I need to intersect all my vertices, right? So I'm just going to put my pencil on one of them and hope that it works out for us. All right, so this might be a slight lack of my technology. Sometimes this program is a little bit off, but what you should do, or what you should see, is that we almost have our intersection there, but that might just be my point isn't exactly matching up. However, you put your needle on your circumcenter and then you put your pencil on one of the vertices and you can go ahead and draw your circle. And this is our circumscribed circle.